Okay, here is my video lesson plan for Ed 304. I will be teaching my daughter Emma about baking New York style cheesecake. We're going to do some experimentation with the ways that they are baked and the science behind that. We're going to discuss the way that we mix the ingredients and how baking it with or without a water bath affect the consistency and the look of the finished product. And even if it changes the texture or the taste of it. Because we are going to be doing this lesson in our own home, she will be pretty comfortable with the physical climate. It will also help to keep her natural teenager trait anxiety down to a minimum, but there's still maybe some trait or state anxiety caused by the fact that she knows that we're being videoed and that other people are going to be watching it. But hopefully that will be lessened because I'll remind her that it's not her peers and people that she knows who will be watching these videos. It will be old people going to college. So hopefully that will help her out and keep her more relaxed and calm. There shouldn't be any debilitating anxiety causing her to freeze and not being able to participate within the lesson. The physical arrangement that we have because we're in a home will help reduce the facilitating anxiety, but it can also be increased because I am her mom and I could go into my mom mode and out of my teaching mode and get frustrated with her. She could get frustrated with me, and that could cause a little bit of anxiety between the both of us. I need to make sure to keep it fun and relaxed and to remember that this lesson is about her and not about me, and that I need to focus on her needs and her cues and be able to focus this lesson on those things that she's most interested in and try to teach her those things that she really wants to know about what we're doing. Hopefully that will help her with some intrinsic motivation. She'll want to impress me with her baking skills and knowledge that she already has from having to cook at home. And she has a little bit of extrinsic motivation already incorporated because she'll get to eat the cheesecake when we're done. Hopefully I won't need to add any more extrinsic motivation to keep her motivated by bribing her with things that she really doesn't need. Hopefully her intrinsic motivation takes over and she wants to do a good job and she's excited and she has fun and she wants to keep doing well with the lesson. This lesson will have her working within a cognitive and a psychomotor domain, Bloom's taxonomy, by making her think about the ingredients, the baking techniques, the temperatures, and how they all work together to create the product. She'll be physically measuring and mixing and making the cheesecake and then hopefully cleaning up as she goes. That will go into testing her moral development to see if she cleans up after herself as she works. Or else I may have to do a little bit of cueing to see if she picks up on that she needs to wash the dishes and she needs to keep the area clean as she goes. If she doesn't pick up on the cueing because she's not cleaning up, I will need to make sure to use some informational language to help her understand why we need to clean our areas and wash dishes and keep up with that as we bake, so that she understands the importance of keeping a clean and safe workspace. And it will be hard not to fall back into my mom control language and just telling her she needs to do it because I told her so. And that will be hard because we're in our normal physical environment. It would be easy for me to slip back into that mom control mode as opposed to staying in an informational teacher mode. So I need to be sure to check myself and pay attention to her cues and make sure that she's not getting frustrated with me because I'm using a control language instead of information language. I'll also be testing her short term memory because she'll be making more than one cheesecake. She'll need to remember the order of operations while she's changing a few of the variables. She'll also need to recall which cheesecake we made, with which variable, so that she can analyze them after they're all done. Also, her long-term memory will be tested because she has seen me make cheesecakes many times, and I want her to be able to recall what they look like. I know that those go into her prototype of cheesecake because we've had them many times at our house, and she has a pretty strong prototype of what cheesecake looks like and what it should taste like, and hopefully her own finished product will create a positive instance rather than a negative instance and add to her own prototype because of it. Baking with her may also trigger her sensory registry and provide memories from the smelling, the tasting, and just seeing the cheesecakes. I want to try to cue her towards any memories she may have and see why she has those memories and which one's stuck and why. I think that'll be interesting to kind of have those conversations also as we go and see what types of things help those memories stick within her long term. Before we begin cooking, I'm going to assess her improper sanitary kitchen procedures and see if I can find maybe any misconceptions or overgeneralizations or any undergeneralizations that she may have when it comes to baking, cleaning, sanitizing, and maybe even just like the scientific process in general. Hopefully I'll be able to answer her questions if she's got them, and help her understand the purpose of why we're doing what we're doing. I'll do this by asking her questions about what we need to do and why we need to do those. For instance, why do we wash our hands before we start doing anything in the kitchen? And why do we make sure we gather our ingredients and set them out and assess them and make sure we have what we need? I really want Emma to take a leadership role within this lesson. Through her leading, I'll be able to assess a better understanding of where she fits within the Erikson stages of development. She's 12 years old and she's a 7th grader in middle school. And I believe right now she's kind of more in a identity versus role confusion stage. Right now she takes certain leadership roles already. She's vice president in her FFA group for the middle school, which happens to be the first middle school chapter in the state of Idaho. So she's pretty excited about having that sort of notoriety behind her. But on the other hand, it makes her nervous a little bit to exert that leadership role and influence over her peers, and in telling them what they need to do and making sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. There's still some guidance that needs to be done there because she doesn't want to, be bossy and not liked and those types of things. So as we go through our lesson, I hope that I can see her self-efficacy zipped up higher as she gains confidence in her abilities in the kitchen, as she learns maybe some new terms and some new ideas within baking the cheesecakes and just maybe doing a few things that she hasn't necessarily done by herself before. I will try to keep away from the learned helplessness, and it's really hard to not, as a mom, just take over and do it because I know how to do it. It's easier and all that, but I really want her to, as I said before, lead and sort of direct and help me understand the pace that I need to be at too while we go through this lesson, so that she's comfortable with anything new she may be learning and being able to digest and understand that information. I want her to kind of set the plan and decide, which cheesecake we're going to make first and why, which way we're going to bake it and why, and kind of look through the recipe, and I want her to read through the recipe and to tell me, what are the steps that we need to do? What do we do first? Okay, now what do we do next? And I want to give her that opportunity to show me what she does know and what she doesn't know in regards to preparing and planning and executing that plan, so that I can help her fill in any gaps that she may have within those skill set. By doing that too, she can help show me any self-regulation that she has by being able to set forth a plan and being able to follow through it. Because she's in the formal operational stage, according to Piaget, she is able to theorize what can possibly happen with the differences in baking the cheesecakes. And she'll be able to analyze them and give good reasons why certain things are happening in those cheesecakes and why they're different, or maybe even why they're not different. I really hope she enjoys this lesson, and I hope that we can both get out of it what we need to get out of it. And I look forward to teaching her soon. Thanks.